Yeah, we going up, we going crazy, going bonkers. Produced by Ziggy, Zay Ticky, believe that.
It ain't peaches, it'll deceive you, boy, believe me. What you know about a jungle made with nothing but semen. No creepy crawlers, just heathens that prey on your weakness. Smell the slightest hint of fear, and the stainless you'll eat it. Gang bangers that greet your test on their face like Weezy. Pouring milk by the ounce, walking around looking sleepy. I'm from a town, no integrity, a broken city, disrupted. I know niggas who once were real, who now turning into sucks. When it comes to murder, it's nothing. Rallos get pulled over scuffles. Bumpy road around this motherfucker, your life means nothing. It ain't peaches. Niggas walking around with no feelings, with a chip on their shoulder, saying the world don't feel us. Trying to earn them some millions so they can split with they niggas. I know cats that died broke because they lost all ambition. When it comes out to get
Welcome back to More to Live For. We're still on this segment, Men of Honor. We're fortunate enough to make it all the way to volume 16. Got a special guest with me tonight, hometown friend. I want to let him introduce himself to you and tell you what it is that he does, and we'll get the conversation rolling. What's going on, bro? How you doing tonight, man?
What's going on, bro, man? I'm doing all right, man. How you been?
I'm doing all right, man. Like I said before, bro, I definitely want to thank you for taking the time out to do this for me, man. It really means a lot.
That's what's up.
Definitely does. Could you introduce yourself to my viewers and let them know what it is that you do?
My name is Staff Sergeant Carlos Wilson. I am in the United States Army. Been doing it for quite some time. I've been in since '05. So I'm getting a little old. Been doing it. I love what I do. I am a logistician, which means I am a 92 Yankee. So anything you need from beans to bullets, I'm the man you come see.
I heard that, bro. And before we get any further, man, I definitely gotta say thank you to everything that you've done for the country, and I definitely think you're a role model to others, and first and foremost, thanks for your service for the country. Can you give us a little bit of your educational background, where you're originally from, things of that nature?
Graduated out of North Pitt High School quite some time ago. From there, I went on to go to and attend Fayetteville State University.
All right.
Then from there, due to being in the military, so I had to leave out of school, but I ended up going back. So I actually graduated from Southern New Hampshire University with a business degree. Ended up going back to school recently here this past December. I just graduated with my master's degree in international supply chain management, all while serving in the military.
Wow, man, that's definitely impressive. Definitely impressive. Before we get to the military, you say you went to Fayetteville State?
Correct.
Could you, describe that experience? Being at the HBCU, how was that?
Well, one, I love being there. I have nothing bad to say about it. Everything was a learning experience. For me personally, I wanted to go there because I went to my father's high school, coming out of Texas, being gone a lot. Due to my father being military, so I'm always in and out, back and forth. But when he finally settled down, I wanted to go to his high school, and I ended up going to my mother's college. So my mom actually went to Fayetteville State. While I attended there, I ended up playing football for the Broncos. Ended up getting 2 CIAA championship rings. So my whole experience there was one, eye-opening. And two, it was definitely a learning experience both on and off the field.
That's what's up, man. Definitely, man. I kind of wanted to, backtrack and ask you about the HBCU, mainly because, I did know that you played football there, but mainly because I think that, the HBCU, the whole foundation of, the HBCU and what it is to football, I think that's really getting bigger. So I definitely wanted to mention that, so, the younger generations will definitely know that, the HBCU is as good as, a Division I college. When coming to,
I would definitely say that. There's a lot of stigma So one stigma being that, you know, you only went to HBCU or Division II because you didn't have the grades or anything like that. There is one particular, actually a few in particular players that I played with who had, you know, high, you know, 3.8, 4.0 GPAs. And I'm like, just because they're playing ball here does not mean they're not smart. So I want to just, you know, get that stigma out the way there. There's a lot of talent um, that goes to HBCUs or Division II, however you want to see it. There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of great men there. Some of us come from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds. Even outside of football, just going to a HBCU, being around the culture, being around, you know, others that may teach you some things. So you learn just because you look like one another doesn't necessarily mean you have the same aspect or the same outlooks. But being able to interact with one another and being able to actually talk through your differences and get to know one another, it makes you a better person when you leave.
Definitely, man. Thank you for clearing that up, man. I like the way you put that, man. I really do. And you know, to piggyback off a little bit of what you said, man, it's definitely a stigma around it. But I think, you know, in 2022, moving forward, I think that, you know, slowly but surely that stigma is going away because, like you said, this guy's there that's not there for, you know, just sports. This guy's at HBCUs on academic scholarships just as well as, you know, athletic scholarships. So thank you for clearing that up. I really do. Thank you. I kind of want to backtrack a little bit. The fact that you played football in college, is there anything that you took from high school and all your experiences there?
Well,
Because you were part of some special teams.
definitely, yes. The biggest takeaway is the transition from high school to college, mainly being the interaction with coaches and the adult staff, I'll say, because technically being in high school, you're still a minor, as they would see it. Once you get to college, all that goes out the window. So they give you tough love. They do a lot of, as I would say, nitpicking. They're only doing it to make you better. As I've learned in my lifetime, where you would always get upset. Why they always calling me? Why they always calling my name? Why they just won't get off my back? It's because they know you're capable of doing the task that they ask, or they know you're capable of doing better. So it's all in good faith. It's all in good fun, but they're there to make you better as a football player. They're there to make you better as a man. They're they're there to make you better as a student athlete.
Well put, well put. I definitely think that you explained the transition pretty detailed. I like the way you laid it out. So I heard you mention, you know, the things that you learned in, you know, just from making that transition from, you know, high school ball to college ball, and you know, just you know, you advance to different levels and you learn different things in life. So can we fast forward a little bit to your military days? You know, me personally, I want to know, is it something that you know always wanted to do, even you know as going through high school, going through colleges? Did you know that that you wanted to have a military life?
Um, it was something that I always had in the back of my mind. One, just because my father being a retired mass sergeant, so I've got to travel a lot. I've been all over the country, just being with him, and I enjoyed every place that we went. Um, Getting to know different people, different cultures, different backgrounds, for all the way from Louisiana all the way up to Rhode Island. So just being able to interact with a lot of different people. Actually, seeing how the military culture is a culture in itself, how it differs from civilian lifestyle and from the military background, and how one another interacts with each other. It was something that I kept in the back of my mind just because it was familiar. My original goal, like any other, is to, of course, go to college, graduate, hopefully start out with a decent paying job, things like that. And not saying the military was my downfall or my backup. It was just
Right.
something that I found myself gravitating towards. Because again, being around Fayetteville State, Fort Bragg is right there.
Yes, it is.
It's like every culture that I've seen being around the military, no matter what race or ethnicity, it was like, you know what? I think I want to try that. So what I did was, to get my feet wet, I started in the reserves. So I did do my full 8-year contract in the reserves, and I ended up enjoying it. So I decided to go full time. So I ended up going full time, and I've been doing it ever since, and I have no regrets about it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So now that I know you're older than me by a year or two, but now that we are slowly approaching 40, with your years in the military, can you say that you definitely learned more discipline? Even though you already had it in your life, being that your dad was in the military, so and my dad was too, so I know with the military the type of dad that he was, and discipline and structure. But would you say that joining yourself added more to that?
Well, just given from my father's standpoint, love him to death, and although he was military, it was, again, being in the military, it was, in and out, hey son, I gotta go here, he gotta go there. But just being, I guess you could say, being who I am, I understood his assignment. So I understood that there's a lot of things he won't be able to make it to, but the things he did make, it meant that much more to me. And I can see the sacrifice driving, 4 hours, 6 hours just to see me come play ball in high school, because he wasn't there, because he was stationed somewhere else, but he wanted me to be settled and his family to be settled. So he settled us while he still moved around due to his military career until he retired. So I understood early on that, hey, you know what? He got to go do what he got to do, but he'll be back. And then also playing ball from the age of 8, 9 years old, and then getting up into the age where you get to go to the Herb Syndics camps, and you go to football camps and basketball camps. I'm used to being gone. So, and then being away from my family and cousins and friends due to his military career, it furthered me getting used to being gone and away from those I love, cousins, family, grandmas, where I only come in for the summer, maybe a weekend here, and then I got to go back home to where he's stationed at. Transition that into college, same deal. First time being away from home for a lot of people. To me, I fit right at home. I'm used to being away from home. I'm used to being gone for long periods of time. And then even further transitioning to the military. Granted, the stint is a little longer. You're gone if you're deployed, 12 months, 13, 14 months, up to 16 months, trainings, things like that. So you miss a lot of birthdays, you miss a lot of holidays. That, I think, was the hardest transition to make, was because people around my age group, family and friends, we kind of understand, but it's hard to see your kids or not see your kids when you missing their birthdays, or like my sister's graduation, my mom's birthday, and on the downside of that is, as I get older, people that I care for also get older. So, that's your older, uncles and your grandmothers, as they pass away, but you always hear about it secondhand. You're never there. You got to try to make it in if you can make it. So I think that's probably the hardest part about transitioning to the military, just because you're going to be gone. You're not going to be able to make everything. You do the best you can, and you just do the best you can from afar.
Definitely, man. I definitely like the way that you laid out, and you kind of touched on something that I remember my dad saying, and I definitely think that you already watched that already, but just the things that you're going through over there, the way he put it was some of the things that he's seen over there made it easier, to come home, and he's flying all the way back across the world for a funeral, but he know what he's going there for, and some of the stuff that he's been doing, abroad, kind of made it easier to deal with. Not necessarily saying desensitizing him, but just knowing the discipline of, I'm just going back home for this, and I don't live here. I'm just going back home for this, and then I'm right back on the other side of the world again. So I definitely think what you said, is definitely relatable to what he said, about with the whole discipline and understanding that you're going to miss, holidays and miss families, birthdays and stuff like that. So I definitely want to thank you for sharing that and highlight that. But that's definitely something that I can relate to.
Just one of those things where it's just one of those things to where you take advantage of your time. So you know what you're there for. So if you do come in for a funeral, But guess what, though? I'm not going to dwell on that, because guess what else I got on this side? I got my kids, I got my mom, I got, the happier side of things. So you do kind of, you do have to split time a lot. You do your morning, but then you also are thankful for the things that you do have remaining.
Right. Oh yeah, man. Definitely, man. Definitely. I want to thank you for doing this for me, man, and all the information that you shared. And I definitely think, like I said, definitely thank you for everything you're doing for the country. But I think you're a role model to others, my kids, your kids, and kids all across the world. Just for what you do for a living and the type of person that you are, and the cloth that you cut from, man. I definitely can relate, and that's why I reached out and wanted to have you to be a part of this segment. Man. So definitely, man. I
No
think
problem.
yes, man. Yeah, I think it was definitely cool, man. Definitely cool. And one goal of mine, every interview I do, I have to learn something, or I'm failing. So and I definitely learned something from talking to you. So I definitely want to thank you, bro. And I think we're gonna wrap things up right here, man. I definitely appreciate you doing this, man. Peace and blessings to your family,
Me too, man.
and safe travels. Wherever you go, man. Safe travels, definitely.
Always, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I like this, man. Keep
Oh, yeah.
keep pushing, bro. I like this. Thank you.
No problem, man. I'm gonna keep pushing positivity, man. And as long as I got friends like you, that I grew up with, I'm gonna be doing this for a long time. That's how I look at it,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Here whenever you call, man. Hometown always, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. This has been another edition of More to Live For, Men of Honor, Volume 16, Hometown Edition. Peace and blessings to all. Thanks for watching.